Welcome, Gold's Gym, DC Metro. Welcome, folks that are joining. We'll give it a few minutes till 4:45 and then we'll get started. Welcome, everyone. Hi, Ronnie. Everybody start to get settled in. Find a good spot for your mat, and in just about a minute we'll get started. If you're just joining, my name is Mark. Welcome to the class. We'll get started at 4:45, so just about a minute. All right, so welcome Gold's Gym, DC Metro, and others who are joining by Instagram. My name's Mark. We're going to do some power yoga tonight, so hopefully this will be a good way for everybody to end their day. I feel like by getting Wednesdays in today's world, I feel like it's already Friday by the time we get to Wednesday, and there's no such thing as the weekend anymore, so yoga every day. All right, let's get started. Come to the front of the mat. Roll your shoulders back and down, open your palms to the front mirror, stand up as tall as you can. Nice, slow, deep breaths. You can close your eyes if you want. Just center your weight across your feet from your heels to your toes. Open your palms. Relax your jaw. Nice, long inhale. Big exhale. Arms up. And with a big exhale, fall forward, fingertips down to the mat. So bend your knees as much as you need to get your fingertips down to the mat. Relax your head and let it hang. If you can't reach all the way down to the mat, put your hands on your feet or on your shins, wherever you can anchor them. And just relax that head. Let the weight of your torso pull you down. Press your hips up toward the ceiling. Keep your weight centered across your feet. And then grab your opposite elbows. So your head is inside your arms looking at your knees. And just let the torso hang. Keep your torso inside your arms, bring it halfway up. Elbows pointing forward. And torso back down. Again, torso halfway up. And down.
One more time, torso halfway up. And back down. Fingertips down to the mat. Walk your fingertips to the front of the mat if they're not already there. And step back to down dog. Hands at the front, feet at the back. Spread your fingers. Make your hands as big as possible. Your hands are your base pressing down through the floor. Press your hips up toward the ceiling. Roll your shoulders away from your neck like you're spreading wings on your back. And press your hips, your chest, back toward your feet. Heels are dropping toward the floor. If your heels are touching the floor, bring them slightly further away from your hands so your heels are just off the floor. Breathe into this. Press forward to plank. Shoulders over your hands. Hips in line with the rest of your body. Look at a spot out in front of you on the floor. That'll help flatten out your neck. Strong through the core. Raise your right leg. Flex your right foot. So you bring your toes toward your shin and pressing your heel to the back. And then keeping that right leg in the air, press back to down dog. Bring your right knee into your chest, shoulders come forward. So you're back in a plank position, squeezing that knee in. And then back, extend the leg. This time bring your knee to your right elbow, forward. And back, extend the right leg. Knee to your left elbow. And back, extend the right leg. Knee to your chest. Step it all the way forward. Drop your left knee, top of your left foot on the mat. Modified lunge, checking that right knee. It's right over the right ankle, not in front of your right ankle. Arms up. Sink down through the right hip. Pull back through the left hip and lift your rib cage up to the ceiling. Turn and open to your left side, so keep the right knee pointing straight ahead. Turn back to the front. Turn and open to the right side. Keep that knee pointing straight ahead. Turn back to the front. Hands down to the front knee. Curl the toes under on your back foot. We're going to press up into that full lunge. So now you're on the big toe in the back. Pressing forward, getting that right knee all the way over your right ankle. Flexing your left quad to straighten the left leg. Arms up. Now lower your left knee to an inch off the mat and hold. Back up. Again, lower to an inch off the mat. Back up. One more time, lower to an inch off the mat. Back up. Drop the back foot flat on the mat. Open up to warrior two. Roll those shoulders back and down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together behind you. Full lunge in the right knee. It's all the way over the right ankle. Lower your right elbow onto your right knee. Take your left arm up and over for side angle. You're pressing your right elbow into your right knee and using that to twist your chest open toward the ceiling. Reach as high as you can with that left hand. Bring it back up to warrior two. Take your left hand, pull your torso back, drop it on or below your left knee, Right arm over your head, palm facing the ground behind you, reverse. Keep a full lunge in that right knee, get it all the way over the right ankle. And twist your chest open here as well. Back to warrior two. Roll the hands over. Step back to plank. Lower your knees to the mat. With the knees on the mat, we're going to practice chaturanga. Roll your shoulders back and down. Tuck those elbows in. That protects your shoulders. And then just lower halfway. Don't let your shoulders go below your elbows. That protects those elbows. And then press it back up. Cross your feet at the ankles off the floor. Keep them off the floor. Do it again. Roll your shoulders back and down. Lower just halfway. And up. One more time. Roll your shoulders back and down. Lower just halfway. And up. Press back to down dog. We're going to take that same form from chaturanga and try to do a full chaturanga, no knees on the ground next time through. Raise your left leg, press straight back. Flexing the foot, toes come toward your shin, reaching back with that left heel. Fingers spread, hands big. Bring the knee into your chest, shoulders come forward to plank. Take it back, extend the leg. This time the left knee comes into your left elbow. And take it back, extend the left leg. Left knee comes to your right elbow. Take it back, extend the left leg. Left knee into your chest, shoulders forward. Step the left foot all the way forward. Drop the right knee, top of your right foot on the mat. So check that left knee, should be right over your left ankle, not in front of your left ankle. Arms up. Sink down through the left hip, pull back through the right. Lift your rib cage up toward the ceiling. Open to the right side. Turn back to the middle. Open to the left side. Back to the center. Hands down to your front knee. Curl the toes under on your back foot. We're going to press up to that full lunge. Big toe in the back. Press your right heel forward. Get that left knee all the way over your left ankle. Flex the right quad to straighten the right leg. Arms up. Drop your back foot flat on the mat. Open up to warrior two. Roll those shoulders back and down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together behind you. Lower your left elbow onto your left knee. Take your right arm up and over your head. Get it as high as you can. Straight line from the fingertips of your right hand all the way down the side of your body to your back foot. Press your left elbow into your left leg. Twist open. Bring it back up to warrior two. Reach back with that right hand. Drop it on or below your right knee. Left arm over your head, palm facing the ground behind you. Full lunge forward in that left knee and twist your chest open. Back to warrior two. Roll the hands over. Step back to plank. We're going to do chaturanga. Keep that form. Roll your shoulders back and down. Lower just halfway. Tuck those elbows in. Do it on your knees if you need to keep the form. Up dog. So in up dog, nothing's touching the floor except your hands and feet.
should be able to soften those elbows, bounce up and down. Roll over your toes back to down dog. Move your head slowly, yes and no. Release through the neck. Raise your right leg, press straight back. This time open to your right side. Keep the right leg straight. Look under your right underarm toward the right side. Flex your right foot. Center your weight across your hands. So don't fall into that left arm. That's where all your weight wants to go. Center it. Swing that right foot forward into the lunge so you're on the big toe in the back. Right knee's all the way over your right ankle. Open to warrior two. Roll those shoulders back and down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together behind you. This time straighten the right leg. Both legs are straight. Reach as far forward as you can. Lower your right hand down to your ankle or higher up on your shin. Wherever you need to put it to be able to stack your left shoulder directly on top of your right shoulder. And then press off of that right hand and open up. Open your chest toward the ceiling. Bend your right knee, come back up to warrior two. Eagle arms. So you're going to take the right arm under your left arm. Palms together. So it looks like this, right under your left. So keep that in warrior two. So full lunge in that right knee. Try to raise your elbows up. Get them up at the level of your shoulders if you can. Release back, arms out to the sides, roll your shoulders back and down, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Roll the hands over. Step back to plank. Chaturanga. Keep that form. Up dog and down dog. Fingers spread, hands big and down dog. Raise your left leg. Press it straight back. Flex the foot so your toes come toward your shin. Keeping the left leg straight, open to the left side. Look under your left underarm toward the left side. Flex your left foot. Open those hips. Center your weight across your hands. Don't fall into the right arm on this side. Swing forward into the lunge. Big toe in the back. Arms up. Open to warrior two. Roll those shoulders back and down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together behind you. Straighten the left leg. Reach as far forward as you can. Both legs are straight. Drop the left hand down to your ankle or higher up on your shin, wherever you need to put it to be able to stack the right shoulder directly on top of the left. Flex the left quad. Press off of that left hand. Twist your chest open. Bend the left knee. Come back up to warrior two. Left knee's in front. Left arm goes under the right for eagle arms on this side. Palms together. Full lunge in the left knee. Lift your elbows up. Try to get them at shoulder height. Back out to the sides. Roll the hands over. Step back to plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. And back to down dog. Raise your right leg, press straight back.
Flexing the right foot. Keep the right leg straight, open to the right side. Center your weight across your hands. Look under your right underarm. This time bend the right knee. With the knee bent, you can open even further. Feel that opening through your hips, trying to point your right kneecap up toward the ceiling. Keep the weight centered across your hands. Swing forward into the lunge, big toe in the back. We're going to turn this into Warrior One. Drop your hands to your hips. Drop your back foot flat on the mat. So the big toe of your back foot is pointing to the left side. Not straight left, up toward the front left corner of your mat. Find the full lunge in the right knee again, all the way over the right ankle. And your hips need to come square to the front of your mat, both of them, so the left hip comes forward. If you're having trouble getting square, step your feet further away from each other, left to right on the mat. Full lunge, full twist, arms up, Warrior One. So the last piece is, feel the back edge of your back foot, your left foot, rolling away from you to flatten that whole foot on the mat. Open your hands, arch back. Hands down, press back to plank, chaturanga, up dog, and back to down dog. Raise your left leg this time. Press straight back, flex the foot. Open to the left side, keep your weight centered across your hands. Don't fall into that right arm. Go ahead and bend the left knee. And just like we did on the other side, try to point the kneecap up toward the ceiling. Keep your weight centered across your hands. And then swing forward into the lunge. Big toe in the back. Hands down to your hips. Drop your back foot flat on the mat. Big toe of your back foot pointing to the front right corner of the mat. Find the full lunge again in the left knee. Full twist through the hips. Your right hip's coming forward this time. Both hips square to the front of your mat. Full lunge, full twist. Arms up. Think about rolling the back edge of your back foot, your right foot, away from you. That whole foot's flat on the mat. Open your hands, arch back. Hands down. Press back to plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. And back to down dog. Fingers spread, hands big. Roll your shoulders away from your neck. Lower your right elbow to the mat. Under control. Lower your left elbow to the mat. Back to your right hand. Up to your left hand. Opposite now. Left elbow down to the mat. Right elbow down to the mat. Up to the left hand. Up to the right hand. One more on each side. Right elbow down to the mat. Left elbow down. Up to the right hand. Up to the left hand. Left elbow down. Right elbow down. Up to the left hand. Up to the right hand. Press back to down dog. Lower your knees to the mat. We're going to lower both elbows to the mat and go ahead and interlace your fingers. So they don't have to have palms touching, just interlace. So your hands are on the mat. Make sure your elbows are not wider than your shoulders. So keep them at your shoulders or inside. And then press back to down dog. Keep your elbows and hands on the mat. Look toward your hands. That'll help flatten out your back. Press your elbows down into the floor. Lift up through the hips. You're going to feel this in the shoulders, and we're going to make it even more feeling in the shoulders. Come up on your toes. That's going to shift weight toward the shoulders. Resist. Press harder down through the floor. Lift up higher through the shoulders. Keep looking toward your hands. Take small steps forward on your toes. Put more weight in those shoulders. Resist. Stay on your toes. Raise your right leg up. Lower. Stay on your toes. Raise your left leg up. Lower. Walk your feet back. Lower your knees to the outsides of the mat. Big toes touching. Press back to child's pose. So you're trying to press your hips as close to your heels as you can get them. It's an active pose. Keep pressing back. You can lower your torso, forehead to the mat if you want, or you can keep it up. Breathe through this. Bring your torso up. Come up to all fours. So your shoulders are over your hands and your hips are over your knees. We're going to take the left arm and we're going to thread it inside of the right arm and go down to rest on your left shoulder and the left side of your head on the mat. And then take your right leg and raise it up, flexing the right foot, opening the hips just like we did in down dog. So you're balanced here, but you're using your right hand. We're going to take the right hand out of it, lock it down through your abs, your core, and raise the right arm up toward the ceiling. Let's make it harder. Bend the right knee. Grab the right ankle or foot with the right hand and pull it behind you. Roll your right shoulder blade toward the center of your back, opening that right kneecap up toward the ceiling. Release and extend. And back to all fours. Same thing on the other side. Take your right arm, thread it inside of your left arm. Go down to rest on your right shoulder, right side of your head on the mat. Raise your left leg this time. Get set here with your left hand on the floor. Flex your left foot. Raise the left arm up, locking it down with your abs, using your core to balance. Let's make it harder. Bend the left knee. Grab the left ankle or foot. Pull it behind you. Rolling your left shoulder blade toward the center of your back. Opening your left kneecap up toward the ceiling. Release and extend. And back to all fours. While we're here, arch your back. Pull your belly button up like you're going to pull it through your body toward the ceiling. Chin drops to your chest. And then release, let your belly sag down. Head comes back up. Shoulder blades are coming together behind you. And back to neutral. Press back to down dog. Hands at the front of the mat, feet at the back, fingers spread, hands big. Heels are just off the floor. Press those hips up toward the ceiling, even higher than before. Chest getting back closer to your feet than when we started. So we're going to raise the left leg in the air. We're going to jump our right foot halfway forward, and this is going to put us in half moon position. So look between your hands, bend your right knee, and then just a gentle hop halfway forward. Now you're in half moon position, so keep your right hand on the floor. Bring your left hand up to your left hip. That's the start. Looking at the floor for balance. You can bend the right knee, the standing knee if you need to. That helps for balance. Flex your left foot. Press your heel back, head forward. Once you're comfortable there, see if you can start to raise your left arm up toward the ceiling and maybe turn your gaze toward the left side. And in the full pose, you want to look all the way up with your head. Do whichever version works for you. And then lower your left hand back down to the floor. Left leg still in the air. Your hips are square to the floor. Both are pointing straight down. Right hand to your right hip to start the reverse. We're going to look to the right side this time. Same rules. Bend the right knee if you need to. Look down if you need to for balance. You can keep your right hand here, or if you got it, extend up. Try to look up toward the ceiling. Keep flexing that left foot. Lower your right hand. Both hands are down on the floor, on the mat. Walk them back in line with your big toe of your right foot. And then raise your left leg up even higher as you bring your chest closer to your right knee. Take your right hand behind your right ankle and pull. Pull your chest closer. We can turn this into a balance. Take both hands in prayer at your chest if you feel comfortable doing that. Hands down. Bend your right knee and either jump or step back to your plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. And back to down dog. Relax here for a couple of breaths and we'll do the other side. So this time we raise the right leg. Flex your right foot. Jump your left foot halfway forward. Now you're in position for half moon. Left hand on the floor. Right hand on your hip. Flex your right foot. You can look down for balance. You can bend your left knee for balance. You can keep your right hand on your right hip for balance. Or you can start to open up. Looking right. Maybe looking all the way up. Keep flexing your right foot. Keep pressing your heel away from you and your head toward the front of the mat. And then lower your right hand down to the floor. We're going to go reverse. Bring your left hand up to your left hip. Your hips start square to the floor. See if you can start looking left. Maybe you can raise the left arm up off your hip for a bigger opening. Maybe you can look all the way up. Keep flexing that right foot. Lower your left hand. Walk your fingertips back in line with your big toe. So that's your left toe. Then raise your right leg up as high as you can. Bringing your chest toward your knee. Take your left hand, grab behind your left ankle and pull your chest closer to your left knee. You can turn it into a balance. Bring your hands in prayer at your chest. Hands back down to the front of the mat. Bend your left knee, jump or step back to plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. And back to down dog. Fingers spread, hands big. Get those hips going up, chest going back. We're going to jump both feet halfway forward this time into a squat. Your feet are at the outsides of the mat, hands in prayer. So you're trying to get your chest as straight up and down as possible. You're sinking down into those hips. With each exhale, feel the release through the hips. Your elbows are inside of your legs, so you can press your elbows out and get a deeper stretch. Again, trying to get that chest as straight up and down as possible. So from here, we're going to be jumping back to plank and forward to this pose. We're going to keep our hands glued down at the front of the mat, and we're going to use our core the whole time. So put your hands down, fingers spread, hands big at the front of the mat. You're going to push forward. Your weight's going to go forward up on your toes. That way you can push back to plank and control it with your core so it's a soft landing. So from here, you're going to extend into plank. And then chaturanga, up dog, down dog. We're coming from down dog back into the squat. We're landing as softly as we can. So bend your knees, land with your core. Back to plank, same thing, push forward, back. Chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Squat, back to plank, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Squat, one more plank, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Fingers spread, hands big. Let's come down to our knees again. Once more, lowering our elbows to the mat. So this time, you can interlace your fingers if you want. You can leave your hands apart. Whatever's comfortable with the hands. Just make sure that your elbows are no more than shoulder width apart. Come to plank on your elbows. So you're using your core here. The closer your feet are together, the harder this is. So if you want to make it a little easier, spread your feet. If you need to lower your knees, lower your knees. Tilt your pelvis toward your belly button. Now raise your right leg just a couple inches off the floor. And then bend your knee and bring your knee up on your right side. Take it back, lower your right foot. Raise your left foot a couple inches off the floor. Bend your knee, bring your knee up on your left side. Take it back, lower. Right foot up, knee up. And back, lower. Left foot up, knee up. Take it back and lower. One more each side. Right foot up, knee up. Take it back, lower. Left foot up, knee up. Take it back, lower. Lower your knees to the mat. One more time, pressing back to child's pose. Knees outside the mat. Big toes touching. Active pose, pressing back. Come forward and lay on your belly on the mat. Arms at your sides, palms facing your sides. Roll your shoulders back and down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. That'll bring your arms up off the mat. Keep squeezing. Chest up, legs up. Feel those shoulder blades squeezing together. And release. Bend your knees. Squeeze your heels as close to your hips as you can get them, so you're squeezing your hamstrings. Roll your shoulders back and down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, arms come off the floor. We're not going to grab our feet. Just keep squeezing. Chest up, legs up. And release. Keep your knees bent. This time we are going to grab our feet. So you can grab your ankles or higher up on your feet toward your toes. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, rolling those shoulders toward each other. Chest up, legs up. You're not only pulling forward, you're pulling your feet forward with your hands, but you're kicking your feet back. And release. Curl the toes under. Position your hands next to the sides of your chest. So your fingers are spread, your hands are big, elbows in, almost touching if you can, sides of your body. And then I want you to drag your hands back toward your feet, but they're not moving because they're stuck on the mat. Feel that dragging motion. Bring your chest an inch or two up off the floor.
Lower cobra. Keep dragging those hands. Squeeze the elbows in. Release down. Bring just your hips off the floor. You're on your toes, hips off the floor. That'll allow you to come up to chaturanga, plank, and back to down dog. Raise your right leg. Swing forward into that lunge where we started, so lower your left knee onto the mat. Arms up. Hands down. All I want you to do is drop that right shin either straight across the mat or dropping this right heel under your body as much as you need to. Straighten that left leg. And we're coming into pigeon prep. So you've got that right foot. It can slide under you as much as it needs to, depending on your flexibility. You can have it all the way under you if you need to. If you're more flexible, you may have that thing out. You're shifting all your body weight over toward your left side. You can stay up like this. You can bring your elbows down to the mat, whatever is comfortable for you. Breathe into that stretch. You'll feel it through that right hip. If you want to go deeper, an easy way to do that is come up on your toes of your left foot, that back foot, and walk back a little bit. Bring yourself further away from that front shin. Bring your torso back up and press back to down dog. Raise your left leg. Swing forward into that lunge, dropping the right knee. The modified lunge. Keep the left knee over the left ankle. Arms up. Hands down. We're going to get this left shin across the front of the mat or tucking your heel under you as much as you need to. One side may be very different from the other, so do whatever works for you with the positioning of that left leg and heel. And then whatever you did on the other side with your torso, do it on this side. If you kept it up, keep it up, or you can lower it down. Again, you can use the toes of your right foot to walk that leg back and get deeper into the stretch if you want to. Shifting all your weight to the right this time. Breathe through that hip. Bring your torso up and press back to down dog. Jump feet halfway forward into the squat. Hands behind you. We're going to sit down onto the mat. You may be able to hover before you sit. If you want to try that, you can extend one leg. See if you can extend the other, keeping your hips off the floor until you lower down onto the mat. Bend your knees. Extend your arms, palms facing each other. We're going to rock back here until you feel the abs engaged. Rock back. Feel the abs engaged. Your feet are still on the floor. Pretend there's a string in the center of your chest, pulling your chest up toward the ceiling. And then just bring your feet an inch off the floor, heels an inch off the floor. So you can stay here. You can grab behind your legs for extra help to keep the form. You can extend your legs. That's harder. Keep that string from the center of your chest, pulling your chest up toward the ceiling. And release. Lay back on your back with your knees bent. Extend your right leg. Take your right hand on your left knee and just roll it over to your right side. Drop your head down onto the mat.
Left arm wherever it's comfortable. At your side, over your head, extend it out to the left, whatever works for you. Back up. Bend your right knee. Extend your left leg. Take your left hand on the right knee and just pull it over toward your left side. Do whatever you did with the left arm. Do the same thing with the right arm. Head down on the mat. Back to the center. Extend both legs. Let your feet fall out to the sides. Separate your palms from your body. Lay your arms down on the floor. Relax your head. Reposition your hips so your lower back is as flat to the floor as you can get it. Close your eyes. Relax your breathing. With each exhale, try to feel that lower back melting down deeper into the floor. Start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, bring your breathing back to normal. Bend your knees, roll to your right side, and whenever you're ready, you can use your left hand to bring yourself up to a seated position. Whatever seated position is comfortable for you. We're going to do 3 deep cleansing breaths. You're either all alone or only with people you know in your home, so you don't need to be embarrassed by any of this. You can do it. We're going to inhale through the nose, exhale out of the back of the throat through the mouth. It's going to make noise on the exhale, but nobody on Instagram can hear you. So here we go. In, out. Again, in, out. One more, make it your biggest one. In and out. Namaste. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully I'll see you next week, Wednesday. Have a great week and a good weekend.